Marlo just responded to all the cheating allegations, and it's actually insane. And I know you guys probably think I'm lying, but I'm not, because Swite, her literal best friend who's been defending her this entire time, just dropped a comment on her defense video calling her out. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking it all down, so I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, hit that like button and subscribe. But who even is Marlo? Because if you don't know this context, none of this is going to make sense. She's literally the first and only player in Minecraft history to ever hit tier 1 in every single PvP game mode. Crystal, Sword, UHC, Diamond Pot, Netherite Pot, Mace, everything. She's ranked number 1 on MC tiers right now, which is the main competitive tier list, the absolute best player in the world according to the rankings. But here's where things get really interesting. Marlo used to co-own MC tiers with Learn until early 2025. During that time, she was regularly PC checked, that's screen shared to verify no cheats on her computer. And according to her, she passed every single time, multiple checks, all clean. But then the tier list split happened in early 2025. Marlo became sole owner of MC tiers. She also owns PvP Club server, and suddenly she's not required to screen share anymore. She controls the tier list, the server, the anti-cheat, who gets staff positions, literally everything. No oversight. And that's exactly when people started noticing some really suspicious stuff in her gameplay. The statistical evidence is genuinely insane, and this is where things get really technical, but I promise it's worth understanding. Mario Kart 617, a super credible researcher in the community, analyzed Marlo's 40-minute tier 1 test against Legendary, who's also tier 1. Marlo hit 199 successful shield stuns and only missed twice. That's a 99% success rate over 40 straight minutes. For context, Legendary in that same fight had 168 successful shield stuns with 37 misses, which is an 82% success rate. Shield stunning requires double clicking with an axe at absolutely perfect timing, and getting 99% consistency over 40 minutes is statistically wild. Legendary is also tier 1, one of the best players in the world, and he's at 82%, which is actually normal for elite players. But 99%? That's macro territory. But there's more, because someone went through Marlo's mace montage and analyzed 76 attribute swaps. That's when you go sword to mace to sword really fast for combat advantage. Out of those 76 swaps, 75 of them took exactly 3 frames. That's literally 1 tick, which is 50 milliseconds. Only 1 swap took 2 frames, so that's 99% frame perfect consistency at 1/60th of a second timing across 76 attempts. And it's not just that. Her respawn anchor placements were analyzed too. 102 instances total. Normal anchors, all but 1 took exactly 7 frames. Airplace anchors, all but 1 took exactly 4 frames. The person who documented this said, "It's as close to perfect as anyone could get." Now look, I know what you're thinking. Elite players practice this stuff thousands of times. They should be consistent, but never deviating by even 1 frame across 76 attempts. Even the absolute best players have tiny timing variations from fight pressure, but Marlo doesn't. There's also this clip from Dr. Donut where Marlo places a respawn anchor without it visually appearing in her hotbar. Like, it just shows up placed without her selecting it, which should be literally impossible. Marlo's explanation was that she used the Exordium mod, which reduces frame rate to improve performance, and it caused the hotbar to not show the selection even though she did select it. Sounds reasonable until Refin downloaded the exact version Marlo would have been using, Exordium version 1.01, and tested it extensively. He found that hotbar skips only happen at really low FPS settings. But here's the problem. At low FPS, your Pearl cooldown indicator would look super choppy. Marlo's Pearl cooldown was smooth as butter. The sword's enchantment glint was updating every single frame. She was clearly running at way higher S where hotbar skips are literally impossible according to how the mod works. And then, and this is where it gets really bad, Marlo referenced a force hotbar update setting in her defense video. That setting did not exist in Exordium 1.01. It was added in a way later version, which means she was on a newer version when making her defense, creating this massive inconsistency in her explanation. Multiple people have completely debunked the Exordium excuse at this point. But honestly, the mace montage is where Mario Kart says it becomes blatant, and this is the main proof that convinced him she's cheating. He noticed that after Marlo hits someone with the mace, she tracks left and right before following the target forward. There's no logical reason to aim in those directions, but she always, and I mean always, aims at the exact correct angle between her headbox and the opponent's headbox with what Mario Kart describes as unnecessary confidence and accuracy. So he literally went and downloaded actual cheats to test his theory. He configured a horizontal-only aimbot that locks to targets left and right but keeps vertical aim manual. Weapon specific, so it's only active when holding sword or mace, not an instant snap. Some smoothing with delay to look more natural. And dude, it makes perfect sense for mace PvP when you think about it. You absolutely need vertical control for elytra flight angles for pearl trajectory because pearls arc downward for wind charges, but horizontal tracking makes it basically impossible to miss targets and would explain the inhumane reactions to opponents turning left or right. I highly recommend checking out Mario Kart's video as it is genuinely the best video made on the situation. Most of my points are just a conclusion of Mario Kart's video, so all credit goes to him. He even showed clips where Marlo clearly aim locks when holding weapons, but shows absolutely zero aim locking behavior when using elytra or chest plate, weapon-specific behavior. He straight up said that if he were MCT or staff, he would immediately call for a screen share or hand cam requirement. Immediately. No hesitation. But if you're still not convinced, the Vexay incident is the one that genuinely has zero legitimate explanation, and this is considered the biggest evidence by most of the competitive community. Shout out to Kuma for covering this. Vexay challenged Marlo to a 1st to 20 duel. If Marlo wins, she gets $350. If she loses nothing. Completely free money with literally zero risk. And here's the thing that makes this really important. Marlo had already beaten Vexay 20-4 on her own PvP club server before, so this should be the easiest $350 of her life. Just beat him again and prove everyone wrong. But Vexay had one condition. The fight has to happen on Mineman Club. Now, why does that matter so much? To put it simply, Mineman Club is run by a professional anti-cheat team with manual review of suspicious logs, and this is where it gets absolutely wild. Marlo agreed to fight at 11 p.m. Vexay's time. Kuma's videos goes into the specific details of the entire thing, but to break it down into simple terms, Marlo stalled for 7 hours straight, for something she's literally already accomplished. Against a server anti-cheat, she should have absolutely zero problem with if she's playing legitimately. There is no legitimate explanation for this behavior. If you're not cheating, you take the free $350, you absolutely embarrass all your accusers. You prove everyone wrong, you vindicate yourself completely. It's a no-brainer. But if you are cheating, you cannot play on Mineman Club because the anti-cheat will detect you and you'll get caught. So what do? You stall for 7 hours with increasingly ridiculous excuses until your opponent has to leave for real-life obligations, and then you blame them for leaving. After this incident, Marlo was literally banned from the Tier 2+ Sword Discord server. The competitive community largely accepted this as proof of cheating. Even her supporters struggled to defend this one. There's also the whole Swite situation, which is honestly really suspicious when you look at the timeline. Initially, Swite left detailed comments defending Marlo on accusation videos. He explained knockback, displacement techniques, and other advanced mechanics, provided technical justifications for suspicious clips, really went to bat for her. Then days later, he deleted all those comments, never explained why. Very sus timing as more evidence kept emerging. But here's where it gets really interesting. There's clips from an unlisted stream where Swite is privately complaining about Marlo. He's saying her hits started doing double damage, that he needs to SS her, meaning screen share her, commenting that's not possible, about a 3-heart axe crit, questioning how she came back from massive round deficits. He even messaged complaints to other Tier 1 players like Imreds, but then publicly he starts commenting and defending Marlo again. Complete 180 from his private complaints. And now, with this new comment on her handcam video, it's like he can't keep defending her anymore because the performance difference is just too obvious to ignore even for her closest friend. Now, let's get into what you were here for. Marlo's response. Her recent defense video just dropped, and honestly, it's causing more problems than it's solving. She posted handcam footage fighting a previous Tier 1 player in UHC, Diamond Pot, and SMP. Sounds good, right? Except the handcam only shows her mouse, not her keyboard, which means you can't verify if she's using macro keys on her keyboard. Like, the entire point of handcam is to show everything, and she's only showing half. But wait, it gets crazier. Swite, who has been one of her biggest defenders, commented on this video, and I'm gonna read you the exact quote because it's honestly tragic. He said, "It's honestly tragic that I'm making this comment as Marlo has been a great friend to me, but I can't sit here and not point out the fact that 90% of her disables in this UHC footage are not double clicks, while if you compare it to footage in her test against me, she literally hits every single stun. I hope she can respond with a reason that justifies this fact." Let me translate what that means. In the handcam video where she theoretically can't cheat, she's missing shield stuns left and right. Like 90% of them aren't even proper double clicks. But in her normal tier test footage against Swite, she hits literally every single stun. 99% accuracy. Her own friend is calling out the performance difference because it's that obvious. And Marlo's response to this? She deflected, said, The bee's nest is gonna get real stirred by this comment, LOL, and then promise she'll address macroing allegations in a future video essay, then complain that responding to every single allegation that comes up is very tiring. Like, girl, you own the tier list, you rank yourself number 1, and you can't take the time to properly defend yourself? But here's what would actually clear her name completely. Full hand cam showing both keyboard and mouse, playing on Mineman Club with hand cam running, live stream tier test with full setup visible, or consenting to a neutral third-party PC check. None of that has happened. Instead, we get mouse-only hand cam with worse performance than her regular footage. Look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys about where the evidence stands. The statistical stuff is damning. 99% shield stun rates over 40 minutes, frame perfect macros across 76 attempts with only 1 deviation, respawn anchors that never vary by even a single frame. The behavioral evidence is arguably worse. 7-hour stall on Mineman Club with increasingly absurd excuses, complete server avoidance except her own, sudden performance drop in hand cam footage compared to regular gameplay, and the ball is entirely in Marlo's court now. She could accept the Mineman Club challenge right now, show full hand cam with keyboard visible, consent to independent third-party investigation, live stream a tier test with Vex, full setup visible, explain the 7-hour stall with actual reasoning, explain why her performance drops so dramatically in hand cam versus regular footage. Any of these things would go a long way, but instead we get mouse-only hand cam, deflection, promises of future video essays, and complaints about how tiring it is to respond to allegations. The community deserves answers. The competitive integrity of the tier list depends on it, and right now, the evidence is speaking pretty loudly. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Marlo is legit? Do you think the evidence is convincing? What would it actually take to change your mind either way? And honestly, if you made it this far in the video, drop a like because this genuinely took forever to research and the amount of evidence I had to go through and verify was absolutely insane. But yeah, that's everything we have on Marlo and her response right now. I'll see you guys in the next one.